Welcome back, fellow Etsy sellers. Today we have an exciting topic that will help you level up your print-on-demand business. We'll be diving into the world of credit card perks and how you can make them work for you. Specifically, we're going to explore 5 amazing credit cards: the Venture credit card, Discover It, Savor One, Wells Fargo 2% back, and Ink Unlimited business card. We're going to be talking about these 5 specifically because I have all 5 of these credit cards and they have earned me lots of valuable cash, especially since starting my Etsy POD business. Simply Shauna here, former 4th grade teacher, and back when I was teaching and didn't have this extra expense of POD, print-on-demand items flowing through my credit card, I was into credit card hacking at that time. So my friends and I like to go on a summer trip every year. I've always looked for cards to help me earn cash back for the summer trip, especially on my very budgeted teacher salary. We did trips to Greece, we did trips to Europe, we did trips to California. I was able every summer to pay for my airfare and my Airbnbs through the points that I racked up on my credit cards. I always choose credit cards with nice cashback rewards and with bonus signups. Since getting into Etsy, that credit card hacking has gone through the roof because you have a lot of money that's going to be flowing through your credit card. The more people that buy items from you in your Etsy shop, the more you have to go and purchase items from the print-on-demand or POD shop that you've partnered with that's printing all of your items. Some people see this as a little bit scary and kind of an obstacle when they first get going with their own legit business, their Etsy business connected with a POD company. But I see it as an opportunity. From day one, I thought, oh my gosh, I'm going to be able to earn so much extra money. It's just such a cool system that we as Etsy shop owners don't have to buy a product until someone has already purchased it. We don't have to buy inventory. It's really not scary in that sense that we don't have any upfront costs like that. Now, once they do purchase that shirt or whatever item, and we go to our print-on-demand company and buy it, so they'll send it out, now we're not risking any investment upfront costs. We're just buying the item as it's purchased from us through our customers. And then each week Etsy will pay us, and then we could pay off the items that we purchased for our business. And then whatever's left over after we pay that off is our profit, what we actually made for the week. Okay, before we delve into the perks of each of these cards specifically, let's quickly discuss why credit card perks are a game changer for Etsy sellers. By leveraging the credit cards, you can earn rewards, cash back, and other benefits on your everyday purchases, like the materials and the equipment you already needed to buy from your print-on-demand company. It is seriously like getting free money. We're going to be focusing on annual fees, sign-up bonuses, perks, and any requirements from you in order to receive the perks or sign-up bonuses. We are also going to cover what each of these 5 cards have put in my pocket for the past year, just the past year. And we will also talk specifically about the spending category that our print-on-demand companies fall under, so we understand specifically what the reward is when we are buying in that category, because a lot of times credit cards will give you 3% back at, let's say, grocery stores, and then 1% back for another category. So just so you completely understand exactly the percentage that you'll get back from each of the specific credit cards we're going to talk about. 2 important things real quick before we jump into it. Most of the cards I'm going to mention require a good to excellent credit rating. According to Bankrate, a good credit rating is 670 to 739. Very good is 740 to 799, and exceptional is 800 to 850. I had anywhere between a 730 to a 780 as I applied to these different credit cards. But I did not have an 800 when I applied to any of these. If you don't find yourself falling into one of these categories, I would suggest hunting for some good credit cards that you do qualify for. They're probably not going to have as many perks or sign-up bonuses if you're not in that, at least that good credit range. But by getting some of those credit cards, it'll help you with being able to keep up with if your shop starts to scale, which I think most of us would like that to happen and start getting more orders. And that's hard to do if you only are using a bank account and you're trying to always make sure that there's money in there to cover your POD purchases. It's just a really nice peace of mind to know that you've got a credit card that can cover it while you're waiting for your Etsy payment to come in. So it'd be nice to have it for that reason. And then also you'll start building better credit. As I've been doing this, my credit has gotten better and better. And the trick to that is making sure that you're just having really good behavior with credit cards. We're going to get a little more into that. And the biggest one there is making sure that you're paying it off regularly, and which you'll be able to do when you're working with your Etsy shop. And that leads me to the second thing I wanted to address real quick. While I am no expert, I am just sharing with you my experience and what I have researched for myself. I will share this with you. When I started nerding out about how credit cards could make me money and pay for my summer vacations, I had some negative Nancy's telling me I was going to hurt my credit because I was opening too many credit cards. So I was opening like 2 new credit cards a year at that time. Now I open more than that. This was years before I even got into Etsy. My credit score was somewhere in the 720s. It is now in the 800s. By the time I got into Etsy, it was already into, I think it might have been like the 760s. Let's take a look at the main things that impact our credit scores. And we can even take a look at how I rank in each of these areas, since you know that I do keep opening new accounts. In on-time payments, I've pulled off an excellent. Oldest credit line, I've been ranked good. Credit used, once again, I've pulled off an excellent. In recent inquiries, I'm ranked good. And sometimes this drops down even into fair. At Christmas time, I got a couple of new cards at once and it dropped to fair. New accounts, I'm average, and in available credit, I've pulled off an excellent. Even though I have some averages and some good rankings within my credit report, I'm still able to pull off an excellent overall rating. And that's because factors affecting our credit are all not weighted the same. They are not equal. So here, according to Investopedia, the new credit lines, like those ones with the recent inquiries and the new accounts that I'm not doing so great in, that's only making up 10% of my credit score. While the amounts owed, 30%, and payment history, 35%, are much bigger players in how we are rated with our credit. So then it might be no surprise that by increasing the amount of credit cards I have, by opening the new cards and then paying it off very diligently every month, makes my debt to credit ratio great. And it helps build that wonderful payment history that the credit report is looking for. So even though my recent inquiry score isn't great, my available credit is, and my payment history is really good. So my credit score keeps increasing. First up on the list is Saver One. So with Saver One, you've got no annual fee, which is great. You have an awesome sign-up bonus, $200. And there isn't a whole lot that you have to do in order to get that sign-up bonus. I'm going to skip over to the requirement over there. You have to spend about $500 on purchases in the first 3 months. That's pretty easy for most of us to do. Even if you're not making Etsy sales yet and you just want to get this credit card going, you could do that for your own personal spending. And then you'll be eligible for that $200 bonus. They'll send that your way. And not only will they send you the $200 bonus, but then you will also, on top of that $500 bonus, on any spending that you're doing, get 3% back on dining, entertainment, streaming services, and groceries. So Printful or Printify or any print-on-demand company doesn't really fall into this category where you're going to get the 3%. But I do get on my Saver One card, I get 1% back. What I made in the last 12 months with this credit card was $582.77. So that was fantastic. I only used it for a very short time because once I got the sign-up bonus, I was off to the next credit card that I was signing up for. So that was pretty good. I maybe use it for a couple of weeks. Now, since I revisited all of the perks that these credit cards offer so that I could share it with you, and I realized that they do offer 3%, which is really big in those specific categories. This credit card is now going into my wallet, and when I'm doing my grocery shopping or I'm paying for like a restaurant, dining, something like that, I'm going to be using this card because it gives me better rewards back on those type of purchases than any of the other cards I'm going to share. Something that's really important to me when I am choosing credit cards is how easy it is for me to go ahead and use that cash back or that rewards cash in a way that works for me and that's easy. So a lot of times I don't like to choose cards that I have to book my airline or my hotel through them. I like to use, I have my favorite airlines where I know where I can get the best deals to the certain places that I go. And I know which airlines to use for each of those. And I like to use Airbnb. So I like to be able to book my stuff and then pay for it afterwards just by going through the credit card and using it as like cash, same as cash almost. So I tend to use credit cards like that. This is a screen from my dashboard where you can see that these are the different ways I can redeem. And the way that I will probably be redeeming when I haven't redeemed from this card yet, but when I do, I'll be going into cover purchases. And from what I've clicked around with, it looks like it's really easy to do. Like I make a purchase, I just go in here, basically erase the purchase because they're going to pay me back what up to $582. Next up on our list is the Venture card. And I've had this one around for a while. This is back from my teaching days. And it helped pay for one of my summer trips. So with the Venture card, you do have an annual fee. It's the only card on my list where you do get the annual fee, and that's $95. It has just wound up being a really great card, and it's easily paid itself off. It's easily covered its $95 fee each year. So with the Venture card, you do have a whopping $750 sign-up bonus. So that was what enticed me. That's why I went that direction. And you get 5 miles per dollar on hotels and rental cars and 2 miles per dollar on everything else. I usually kind of think about this as being 5% and 2% for the most part back on my purchases. And you do have to have a heftier spend in order to qualify for that $750 bonus. So you have to put $4,000 in purchases through on that card for the first 3 months. So I was chatting about this with some friends last night. It was Laneta and Shay. And you might have seen them in previous videos and some of my other videos. We were talking about credit card hacking. And, at first it was like, whoa, $4,000. I did this while I was teaching. So it wasn't like I was spending a lot on frivolous things. I was very budgeted. But I was pretty easily able to put the $4,000 on it. You just have to think about what you're spending on. So if you're spending around $100 on groceries per week, well, that's already $400 for the month. And then let's say you put your phone and your internet and any other types of monthly subscriptions, you move them over to that credit card. And now maybe you've got another $250 passing through it. So now we're at, between $600 and $700 for the month. And then now let's put our gas on there. And so maybe that's around $50 a week. And now we're probably pretty close to the $1,000 mark. So, maybe now any gift buying or maybe you go out to dinner once a week, and that might, you could look at that and see, do you think you can reach that $4,000? And if so, this might be something to consider because with that bigger spend comes that larger sign-up bonus. And if it's money that you're going to be spending anyway, and you have that money to pay off right away, then you're just making extra money. There are lots of other rewards for all of these cards that I'm not even mentioning. I'm just focusing on these main ones that I think make the card really awesome. But there's a quick picture of the dashboard if you want to see what else Venture is offering there. And I have in total on this card available to me to use in cash rewards, $1,116, and about $582 of that was earned this year. I use both Printful and Printify, and this is just what I've earned with my fulfillments through Printify. And I primarily use Printful. So this is, just on the couple of orders really, and by comparison of what I get through Printful, this is what I've managed to earn here. And it's really easy to use these points. I just can make the purchase and then I can go in and cover the purchase. And this is what I have racked up on this card, keeping in mind now I have long cashed in that bonus money that I got when I signed up for the card. I've already used this card a couple times, cashed in, and enjoyed the cash rewards. My intention was to have this card, use it, cash it in, to help pay for my trip that year, and then close the card out. And I have done that with a couple of cards. They're not going to help build your credit because you are closing the card out, but I don't want a bunch of cards where I have annual fees. I wound up keeping this card around because it has so easily paid for itself back. So even though my big bonus is long gone, that 2% back on purchases it's more than enough. I put more than enough on that card, as you can see, to go ahead and pay for that annual fee to make it make sense. Now, I have links to all of the credit cards we're discussing today, except for the next one, down in the description below. And with some of those referral links, you'll actually get an extra bonus. We'll talk about one of those extra bonuses in just a second. But first, Wells Fargo is the third card up on our list. It's the Wells Fargo 2% back. They don't offer a referral link, so you can just Google them and find them. They're the card that I've been using lately, and they are usually the card that I'll go back to once I'm done with a sign-up bonus and the requirement needed for a sign-up bonus. Then I go back to the Wells Fargo card. The Wells Fargo card also offers a sign-up bonus, which is $200, as long as you spend $500 through the card during the first 3 months. And the reason I'm always going back to the Wells Fargo card is because they also, just like the Venture, offer 2% back. That is huge. That is a really great percentage back on all purchases. So we're going to see, you see like the Saver One offers 3% back, but only on certain purchases. So to have your print-on-demand shop receive 2% back for all of the purchases that are going through it, the Wells Fargo is a good one for that. The Venture one's good for that, and the Wells Fargo one. And you only have to spend $500 in order to get that $200 sign-up bonus. I did use the Wells Fargo card to pay for the trip that I talk about in this video here. I'll link it down below if you missed it. But my family went to the Keys, and that trip was made possible because I was able to pay a large chunk of that through the Wells Fargo card points that I had earned up. So that was the latest one that I was able to use a nice big chunk from. And that brings us to credit card number 4. So Discover It is credit card number 4. And this has been, out of all the cards we're mentioning, it's the one I've had around the longest. And I love this card. I'm constantly telling friends and family, and now I'm telling you guys about the Discover It card. I love the Discover It card so much because they always give you 5%. That's huge. 5% back on certain categories. So for example, every 3 months they change those categories. So usually for October, November, December, one of the places they give you that 5% back at is Amazon.com, usually. So I do all my Christmas shopping there. That works out so great for me. Through another quarter of the year, another 3-month chunk, it's usually like gas and groceries, you get 5% back. So these are like really great categories to get 5% back. You won't get 5% back on your print-on-demand purchases. That won't count. All the rest of your spending is 1% back, which adds up. Now, this is the kicker. The very first year, and this is what gets me so excited about telling people about Discover It. The very first year, they double all of your rewards. So that really means you wind up getting 10% back on all of those purchases that are by category throughout the quarter. Like I said, Amazon usually is like quarter 4, like the Christmas gift buying season, and then the groceries and gas is another quarter. You wind up with 10% back that first year because they match all of the rewards that you got. And then your 1% turns into 2% because at the end of the year, they they double it. So it's 2% that first year. So that means if you are gearing up and you're thinking that your print-on-demand business is going to be earning you more money, or it already is earning you more money, then you could put your print shop expenses on this credit card and get 2% back that whole entire first year. So I personally do not use my Discover It card for my print-on-demand business. It's my personal card. But that's because I would only get 1% back. Oh, and one more awesome thing. If you use the referral link down below, you'll also get a $50 credit statement after you make your first purchase through the credit card, which that is the only credit card I know of that offers people, this extra $50 to sign up through a referral link. So I thought that was super cool. So with Discover It, there is no annual fee. And the bonus would be, there isn't technically a sign-up bonus, but the bonus is that at the end of that first year, they double all of your rewards. So if you earned $1,000 through them, which is what I usually earn through them, and that's just my personal spending, it's not my POD stuff. If you were to earn $1,000 in rewards with them the first year, with your 5% and your 1%, they double that to $2,000. So that's great, and you get it $50 if you use the referral link down below. There is no requirement from you, no minimum spend. You just have to make a purchase in order to get that $50 credited to your account. This year, just this last year, I have earned with the Discover It card $1,072. It is very easy for me to use the Discover cash that I make. Again, I like to travel, so a lot of these cards are very friendly to travelers because that's something I'm always looking for. I make a travel purchase. I buy an airline with whoever I want to buy the airline ticket with, or Airbnb or VRBO, and then I am able to just go in and apply my earnings, my cash reward earnings, to the purchases that I made, and it's poof, they're gone. It's like I didn't have to pay for that. I also used this card when my little Tucker, my little dog, was sick when I was first starting my Etsy shop. If you're a subscriber, you probably know about Tucker and when he got sick. If you're not, invite you to subscribe now if you're enjoying the content, and to like this video if you feel I earned it with sharing this information with you. But Tucker had gotten sick and we were at the vet, and I had not gotten Etsy to take off yet when the vet came back and said it was going to be around $10,000 to save my little guy. I put that on the Discover It card, and I was able to easily apply that $1,000. I had $1,000 racked up at that time. It was maybe just a little over $1,000, and apply it right to Tucker's vet bills. And I was also very motivated to get a lot of shirts listed and to make sure that I got my Etsy shop going at that time. Last but not least, let's explore the Ink Unlimited Business Card by Chase. This card is specifically designed for a small business like our print-on-demand company. I was personally confused about whether I could apply for a business card and didn't cash in on this until recently. So there's a couple of great things about having a business card. Firstly, you can establish a whole separate line of credit, like you're one person with 2 lines of credit, just doubling your credit power, which is pretty cool. Also, you can separate your business expenses from your personal expenses, and this will make things a lot easier at tax time. I personally just paid $2,000 to my CPA because all of my stuff was all mixed in, and to do the bookkeeping part of that, they had to look through 6,000 transactions because it was mixed in with personal spending. So keeping your 2 types of spending separate is definitely a great idea. Business cards will a lot of times come with better perks and bigger bonuses, which the card we're going to be discussing does come with a great bonus. Now, if you have created like an LLC for your business, or you have an EIN number, you will be able to use that when you are applying for the credit card. If you have not done that, you should be able to just put your name and your social security number to go ahead and do that. And you might be wondering, well, what makes it so that I have a business and I'm allowed to apply for a business card? A lot of things fall under this umbrella as a business. Certainly our Etsy shops with our print-on-demand companies falls under that umbrella. A lot of things do. A musician doing gigs, a freelance writer would qualify you for that, or a teacher tutoring after school. All of those would be considered small businesses. The Ink business card has no annual fee, and it has a $750 sign-up bonus. It does give you 1.5% back, cash back on all purchases. So you will get 1.5% back on all of the purchases that you are making for your print items through your POD shop, which is better than most cards that offer the 1%. Remember, the Wells Fargo does offer the 2%, so that's great, and so does the Venture. This is coming in second with that, with the 1.5%, but then it's got that huge sign-up bonus of $750. You do have to spend $6,000 on purchases within the first 3 months. I went ahead and applied for this card last year as we were coming into the Christmas season. I wanted to have some backup ways to make sure that I could pay for all of the POD expenses, those print-on-demand expenses. It is a good idea now to start thinking about this holiday season if you're hoping to scale your shop and to start making sales. Hopefully you have a credit card, and if you don't, that you do get a credit card, or maybe two, so that if things go better than you expect and your shop starts to scale, you have a way to pay for your items while you're waiting for Etsy to pay you. So this was what I did last year, and so I only have about 2 months worth of spending on this. And with that $750 bonus, along with the 1.5% cash back, I've got $1,425 sitting on this card waiting for me to enjoy. Guys, that brings me to a total of an extra $7,318 totally and truly passive dollars made by simply taking a minute to research some good credit cards with some good rewards and applying for them. Using credit cards like this only works in your benefit if you pay them off every month and understand the reward structure and spending categories so you're using the right ones for the biggest rewards for that type of spending. Congratulations, Etsy sellers! You're now armed with the knowledge to make your print-on-demand purchases really work for you through credit card perks. Whether you choose the Venture card, the Discover It card, the Saver One, Wells Fargo, or the Ink Unlimited Business card, be sure to take advantage of the rewards and benefits they offer. Don't forget to use the links down below in the description, as some of those referral links will get you a little extra perk. Remember, it's all about maximizing your business's potential and making the most out of every purchase. Easiest money ever after you get your shop to scale. That money just makes itself, the credit card money. If you're wondering how much I made in just last month in credit card rewards alone, join me in this video here, but of course not until after that tip from Tucker. Tucker, take it away.